Hi everyone, my name is Michelle and today we're going to be doing some glute exercises that you can do at home. So I'm going to take you through a really nice little glute exercise workout, strengthening workout that you can do in your lounge room, and you don't need much equipment. The only equipment I'm going to be using is one of these exercise bands later in the session. So if you haven't got one of these, I'll put a link down below as to where you can get one from, but these are really handy for strengthening your glutes. We're going to be strengthening your glute max, which is the big muscles in your buttocks, and we're also going to be strengthening the smaller glute mean, which are the smaller muscles at the side of the hips. So you'll also get some toning benefits for your thighs as well. So let's get started. Only the equipment you need is a chair. So I've got a stool here. I'm going to start using the stool. We're going to start with some squats. I'm going to be talking you through, giving you some pointers as we go, just so that you get the exercises correctly. Ideally, you will have been for a short walk to warm up, so say 5 to 10 minute walk. That would be great to actually get your muscles warm. And we're going to start here in this position. So I'm going to start with some squats. To get your glute max working, so the big muscles working, turn your toes outwards. You're going to try and move your bottom backwards and backwards towards the chair. So I'm just going to line myself up here a little bit better. And I'm going to reach forward as I come out and back up. So as I take my bottom backwards, you can see I'm keeping the inward curve in my back and back up, breathing in and out. So you can exercise along with me at home, pressing down and back. You could be using a dining room chair here and see if you can get your bottom right back and push down. Now, if you've got sore knees, you don't need to go deep with this exercise. We know that a deeper squat isn't necessarily more effective for your bottom, but what we do want is toes turned out, and you're trying to nearly move back vertical, so you're trying to keep the shins vertical, so pushing forward and back. Let's do 4 more of those, taking it down and back, and 3, and back. 2 to go, push your bottom out behind, and back. 1 more time, take it out, and back, give your legs a shake out. So we're going to be doing our exercises mostly standing here, also to then some sitting down. We're going to go into a next set. If you need to stop at any time, just pause the screen if you want to do some more, if you need an extra break, or you can do less if you need to stop as well. So let's do our next set here. Again, toes pointed out, nice and tall, taking it down. Think about your bottom muscles and squeeze, drive through your heels as you come up so you really activate through your glutes. That's number 2. Go again, push your bottom right back towards the chair. Now if you can actually really sit down on that chair, that would be great. 3, I actually can't see it at the moment. 4, just wondering how far back I was going. And 5, so really aiming for that chair. And 6, and back. So you can see I'm keeping the inward curve in my back. 7, and I can really feel my thighs starting to work there. 7, and my bottom muscles. 8, so keep the toes pointed outwards. And 9, and 1 more time, 10, push back and come back up, legs a shake. How are you going at home? All right, you should be starting to feel that in through your bottom, maybe in through your thighs as well. We've got 1 more set to go. So you can stop, remember, pause at any time, have a drink, have a break at any time. If you only need to do a couple at a time to start off with, that's fine too. Let's go, last set, toes are pointed outwards. You can see my chair, here we go. Take it down and back up. That's number 1 and 2. Pushing bottom right back. Oh, I touched it at last. Number 3, try and touch and back. And 4, push back and back up. And 5. And when I do these, I try to slightly angle my gaze downwards, not trying to hyperextend my neck either, but I'm making sure I push right back up into standing. So this is this top bit where your glutes really activate. Lift and take it down, breathing out. Let's do 4 more here. Take it down, breathe out, squeeze your glutes at the top, and 3, and back. 2 to go, down, and back, and 1 more time, and back, and give your legs a shake out. So that's our squats, and so we're doing the hardest exercises first, of course. Next exercise we're going into is lunge. So lunge is great for buttocks, and also great for your thighs, if you want to tone your thighs as well. Going into a long lunge. In your lunge position, make sure that your front knee stays pretty well, that front shin stays pretty well vertical here. So as you drop the back knee down, you try not to let that front knee go forward. That's when you can end up with a lot of knee pain. If you need to keep, if you've got sore knees again, you can keep the lunge small, or you can just hold the lunge in that position if you need to. Let's again just use our arms. You could be using weights here if you wanted to. I'm just going to keep this as a free weight exercise at the moment. Taking it down and back. And again, number 2, and back. And I'm going to show you some variations as we go along. if you'd like to make the exercise a little bit more challenging. I'm going to do 8 reps each side. Again, you could do more if you'd like to. Let's do 2 more here. Down and back and down and back. Change legs. Other leg, nice long stride here. Again, keeping the chest tall, taking it down. Now I really think about driving up through that front heel, and that's what works this glute here. So as I take it down, glute kicks on as I come up. This is 4. Think about your buttocks. There's something called a mind-muscle connection, and you really want that connection, thinking about your glutes, thinking about purposeful exercise. I think we've got 2 to go. We'll try for another 2. Down and back, and 1 more time, and back, and give your legs a shake out. So you can keep on with that basic lunge, or you can do a step forward lunge for the next one. This is a little bit more challenging. Again, it's up to you at home as to what you do. So you can take the leg forward, and let's get started. So we're taking it down and bringing it back. And again, take it down and back. So I've got my hands on my hips at this stage, so I know that I'm keeping my pelvis nice and stable. And down, and I might face you at home, because what I want to show you is that my hips aren't wobbling out to the side. The tendency can be to try and do that, or to do that accidentally if your hip muscles aren't strong enough and your glutes aren't strong enough. So you're trying to keep really stable through the glutes. I'll do a couple more on this side, taking it forward and down, and 1 more time, taking it forward. Other side, let's go straight away. Take it down and back. And again, 2. Nice. You should feel your heart rate elevating a little bit here as well. Gets a little bit cardio as well with this strength work. And again, as I come down, I think you can drive through my heel, come back up. We'll make that, I think, number 6. I hope it is. And 7, take it down and back up. Also great balance exercise too. And 8. And give your legs a shake out. If you need to have a drink, please grab a drink. A couple of deep breaths. And we're going into our last set. So what I might actually show you is our split lunge for this last set. As you can see now, I've got a little step here behind me. You could use that height, or you could use a higher height. You could even use the back of a lounge if you wanted to for these, to make them more challenging once again. I'm just trying to give you some variety at home. If you'd like to use it, it's your call if you want to stay with the basics. For this one again, same lunge position. Here we go, taking it down and back up. And by having the back leg raised, you actually start to work the front glute and front thigh a whole lot harder. And taking it down and back up. So again, I'm driving through that front heel, really trying to use that front glute. Walk this number 5, and if you want to add to it again, you can reach 6 and back, and 7 and back. 1 more time, 8 and back. Let's change over, other side. We're nearly through all the hard stuff, the really hard stuff. The interesting stuff comes next. Here we go, taking it down and back. That's number 1 and 2 and 3. Keep it going, nice and strong. Stay tall through your chest. Drive through that front heel, push out by breathing in and out. Let's do last couple, down and back, and 1 to go. Here we go, down and back, and give your legs a shake out. So we've done our squats, we've done our lunges. Now it's time to move on to some band work, which is going to be really good fun. So if you've got your band at home, I want you to grab it. We're going to start with some little side steps. To put your band on, obviously you want to feel safe. Either use a chair to hold on to or a wall. I'm just going to loop it around my ankles. Now, depending on how hard you want to work, you can use the band either around the thighs in that position. If you want to work a little bit harder, you can use the band lower down around the ankles. And again, it's your call. Just starting off for our first little set, I'll just start it just above the knees. So we're going to start with a little side step. Now this exercise here works in through your glute, the side glutes, that area through the side. So we're not so much working the back this time, more the side of the glutes. And it's going to tone that area as well if that's what you're after. Start with your knees bent, and we're going to start with a side step. Important that the stepping foot stays pointing forwards. So if you turn your toe out, you're going to work your quads. We're not after that for this particular exercise, we're after glutes. Here we go. Step it across and take it back. And again, take it across and back. And let's add a reach to it. Number 3, and back, and 4, and back. And I'm thinking about using my glutes, pushing out, and 6, and 7, and 8. Let's go the other side. Here we go. Take it out. 1, great, and 2. Nice deep squat, stay tall. 3, keep that toe facing forward. 4, we've got 4 to go, taking it out, and back, and 3, and back. 2 more, out, and back, and 1, and come back up. Now let's go straight into a side leg lift. So we're going to go out, leg out to the side, raise the heel out, and take it back. This is a bit harder. So I want you to keep your supporting leg slightly bent, lift the other leg out to the side, and back. And can you see that as I lift this leg, I'm pointing my toe down just slightly. So I'm really working my glute med there. That's the glutes on the side. These glutes are having to work hard to stabilize as well. This is number 4, and 4 more, and back, and 3, and back. So you should be really feeling that at home. 2, and back. 1 more time, take it out, and back, going to the other side. Here we go. So supported knee, slightly bent, toe turned down on the lifting leg, and let's lift it up and back. Keep your upper torso straight if you can. So sometimes you'll feel like you need to do that. We don't want to do that. We want to get all the lifting from our glutes. This is number 4. And the slower you go with this, the more you're going to use your glutes and your standing leg control. Let's do 4 more. And down, and 3, and down. 2 to go. Take it out, and back, and 1 more time, and back. And have a breather. How are you going with that at home? So we might go through 1 more set of that with a combination. And if you'd like to make it harder now, you can drop the tube down below your knees. If you want to stay where we were, you can stay there. And I'm just going to add a little bit of variety for you at home. So we're going to do a combination of those exercises. I'm going to start with our outside leg, my right leg, probably your left leg, if you're mirroring me at home. Here we go, take it out and back. Other side, take it out and back. And you can see I'm not bringing my legs close together because I want to keep a bit of tension on the tube. So I'm taking it out and back together, and out and back together, and again out and back, breathing in and out. Let's do 4 more. Take it down and back, and 3 and back. 2 more. Take it out and back, and once more. Now let's go to our leg lift out to the side and back. Can you go the other side? Take it out, control, I nearly lost it, and take it back. Really big balancing exercise. Out and back, and out again, turning the toe down towards the ground if you can. Go again, lift it, and back, and 3, and back. Last 2, stay with me if you can, lift it, and back, and once more, and back, and have a breather. I'm now going to bring my tube up to my knees, and now we finally get to sit down, hooray. So you might be sitting down on a dining chair, you might be sitting down on the front of the lounge. I've got a stool here I'm going to use, and I'm just going to bring it forward, and I'm going to keep the tube on my thighs. So I'm going to bring it down just above my knee height. This is called a hip pumper. Now the hip, I'll just move them a step further forward. The hip pumper is again a lovely exercise for using the glutes, and I want to show you how to do this correctly. So take your feet so that they're just a little bit further out from your knees. So when you're looking down, your knees are inside your feet. Lean forward, keep the inward curve in your back. Resist the temptation to want to arch your back forward. So inward curve in your back for safety, and this is how your back should be normally positioned during the course of the day anyway. This is how we want to strengthen our glutes. Bring your hands down over that area there so you can actually feel the glutes working. This is the part we're going to be really feeling tensing under our thighs. Toes pointed slightly outwards, and now we're going to take the legs apart and bring them back in. And again, out and back, and 3 and back. And I can really feel that area under my hands tensing. I hope you can at home too. 4 and back. Keep it going. 5, nice and strong. And 6, and back, slowly back. 7, try and resist letting go of the band, letting it ricochet back, keeping control of it as you bring it back in. Now I'm losing track of our, I think we're about 11. I'm hoping it's about 11. And 12. We're going to go up to 15 with this set. Out and back. Remember, you could stop anytime at home. Take a breather. If you'd like to, just wait for our next set. 2 to go here. Out and back. We've only got 1 more exercise after this to go. So we're just about there with our glute workout. And take a breather. So this particular exercise, the hip pumper, can be done with a thicker band, and these thick bands are also available on Amazon. You can see them here. They've got a little bit of rubber on the inside too, so they tend not to slide. I'll show you this next one with a thicker band. It can give a bit more resistance if that's what you're after for your glutes. And again, taking your feet through the band, and again, bringing it just above your knees. And in that position again, I've got my knees just inside my toes. My toes are pointed outwards, so I'm activating through my glutes, leaning forward. Hands on my glutes again as well, just below my hip bones, they're the pelvic bones you can feel, and taking it out and back. And this is much harder resistance. So you can get a variety of tubes for the particular types of exercise you want to do and for how strong your legs are. I'm going to keep going with this. We're going to go up to 15 again. So I think this is about number 7 here. And 8, and I'm trying to breathe out there with the effort. And 9, and 10. We've got last 5. See if you can stick with me. This is 5, and back, and 4. Stay with it if you can. 3 to go. Stay tall through the chest. Keep the inward curve. 2. 1 more. Out and back. And have a well-earned rest. Take a drink break if you need to. I'm going to just slide this off my ankles. And now we're finally going to move down onto the ground. We're going to go to an exercise called the hip thrust, which is wonderful for the glutes, just to finish off with. So finally down onto the ground. So just moving down, I'm going to come down onto my mat. All right, so again with the hip thrust, you can use weights for this, and you can also use your bands if you choose to. I'll show you both. I'll show you the basic hip thrust for starters, and then we'll progress them if you'd like to do that at home. So lying down, again, arms are down by your sides. You've got your knees apart, and I keep my knees and my feet basically in a straight line from where I am, so I can just see down. My knees are probably just a little bit wider than my shoulders. And the hip thrust involves keeping the inward curve in the back and lifting your bottom up in the air, so you're going high. This is the point where the glutes work the most. The most active at the top there, and taking it back down. You're breathing in, and then you're breathing out with the thrust. So that's really lovely for tense, for strengthening those buttocks. And again, number 4, lifting up and lowering it down slowly. So you can lift quite or reasonably quickly. Make sure you lower down slowly. That's the eccentric part of the exercise. That's where we make a lot of our gains. So lifting and lowering down. And remember, take it as high as you can comfortably. If your back's sore, taking it too high, then stay short of that range. Just take it within your comfortable range at home. Let's see if we can do another 4 here. Breathing out, lifting, squeezing your bottom at the tight. Think about that mind-muscle connection. And 3, and back. 2 to go, lifting up and back. And 1 more time and back. And you might bring one knee and then the other knee into your chest before you go into your next set. And for our next set, I do just want to show you with the hip band. So this is a nice way of actually getting the big, large muscles at the back and the sides to work. So feet are through the band. Again, so as soon as we take the knees apart, resistance is on, our glutes are working. So let's go second set. Again, this is optional. Use the band or not use the band, it's up to you. Let's go, breathing out, lift up, inward curve in the back. So I'll just bring my top in a little bit so you can see that I'm keeping that inward curve in my back with my lift. I'm not slumping down. This is number 3. And I'm keeping my legs apart to maintain that tension on the band, number 4. And we'll go again, breathing out here, 5, and down. And the other thing that's important about your bridges is not to put pressure on your neck. So you can see I'm not lifting too high, I'm not hyperextending my back. So I don't want to put pressure through my neck and shoulders, I want to keep them relaxed. Let's do another 4 reps here. Final 4, lift it up and back, and I'm really starting to feel it in my glutes. I hope you are at home as well. 3 and down, and 2 and down. Once more, lift it up and down and have a breather. Let's finish up with a couple of nice little glute stretches there. So just taking your feet out of your tube. How do you feel at home? A bit tired through your glutes? I hope so. All right, let's take one leg, one knee into the chest. It's a lovely glute stretch. Holding it on there, bring the knee up to the chest. And again, you can hold these stretches as long as you choose to. For the purposes of the video, I'm just demonstrating the exercises, so taking it in. If you want to pause and hold them longer, that is absolutely fine. But this stretches the large buttock muscle, and it also gets a stretch into the lower back as well, which is very nice. If your knees are sore, you can always hold on behind the thigh. And take the leg down, and let's go into a deeper glute stretch, turning the leg up, foot across it. I've got my right foot across my left knee. I'm going to start by just taking my hand inside the knee and pushing the knee away. Let's get a stretch into the back of my hip. That's a really nice deep stretch for the tissues. And now if you'd like to, you can then lift the legs off the ground. You can reach behind the hamstring if you like to. If you're flexible enough, you can reach in front of the shin. And this gets a lovely deep stretch into the glute muscles in the right buttock. So if your right knee's closest, right knee's bent, that's the right buttock. And let's take it down, and the other side, leg up. Let's start by turning the knee away. You'll find if you bring the other foot in closer, you'll get more of a stretch here as well. So again, beautiful stretch deep into the back of the hip, into the glutes there. Turning the knee out. This stretches some really deep tissues in the back of the hip. It's a nice stretch, especially if you don't want to take your legs off the ground. Some women don't want to lift their legs off the ground, that's fine too. Then if you can, legs come off the ground, hands behind the thigh or in front of the shin. And let's take it down slowly and have a rest. So we're done with our glute workout today. How often should you do that? 2 to 3 times a week would be great to work your glutes. Aiming ideally to try and do 2 to 3 sets of each exercise. So trying to get around 12 to 15 of each exercise would be a great recipe at home. Thanks so much for watching today. I really hope you enjoyed the exercise video today. If you'd like some more exercise videos, please subscribe below. I welcome your questions, love to hear from you at home. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Have a great day.